Totally Nonsense on Nonsense News Nation. Totally.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another edition of Totally Nonsense on Nonsense News with a Nation. I'm your host with the most, Brandon Scott Ellis, Hebrew name Shmuel Melch. And right on the other line, from the other side of Long Island, who do we have right here?
It's your boy, Scotty H, coming at you live with a bucket of something. But yeah, I'm back. I took 2 weeks off to sleep, but I'm here.
Scott, it's been a while. I've missed you very dearly. I know my middle name is Scott, but that I don't get enough of my Scott fix with my own self. I need you.
You need a Jew? Well, I'm your Jew, and I just woke up like 30 minutes ago. So
I'm flattered. Good morning. Good morning. I hope this will suffice as your breakfast. Eat up some nonsense, because I got some stories for you, if you don't mind. So I'll share a story. You'll share a story. And we'll get right to it. Today, I want to talk about a guitarist of a very small indie band. I'm really not sure if you know who they are. I'll give you. No, it's a band called. I can't even pronounce it. Queef. Queen. You ever heard of Queen?
The Queen cover band, Queef. It's all women. An all-female Queen cover band. Maybe once in passing I've heard of them.
So you may be asking yourselves, Brandon, Scott, why in the world are you talking about Queen? Freddie Mercury's been dead for decades, and that's true, but for some reason they're still going. They got Adam Lambert, who didn't even win American Idol that one time, and they got him as the lead singer. So they kind of play their same old 3 songs, and everyone loves it, including me. I love it. And
Adam
the guitarist...
Lambert. Really? Really, Adam Lambert? That's who they got?
Could you do better, Scott? Give me your best Figaro right now.
Figaro.
The guitarist Brian May still knows how to rock, and he does it well. I mean, he may be struggling right now because, unfortunately, he went through a very traumatic injury. Let me explain. He was rushed to the hospital very recently because he tore his buttocks. And how could you imagine a rock star going out like that? What do you think he would do?
It doesn't sound as bad as your injury, first of all, but you've managed to pull through. I'm sure he can too.
Yeah, I've had some pain too, listeners, in the lower area as well, but not on the back side. I'm going to say the front, and I'll leave it at that. But anyway, so Brian May and I have a special connection, and if you tell me otherwise, you can go to heck, okay? You can go to heck. Gosh darn it. But how do you think he broke his butt? How do you think he tore his gluteus maximus?
Was he twerking?
No, he wasn't making a TikTok with his
TikTok?
12-year-old granddaughter. He was gardening, Scott.
What?
He was under pressure, as a Queen fan would say.
Another one bites the butt.
I hope he doesn't want to ride his bicycle. Can you imagine someone plays Fat Bottom Girls? That would just trigger him. He can't think about bottoms.
I don't know any more Queen songs. I don't think.
That's all they play.
My head. Well, yeah.
So he was rushed to the hospital, not for the coronavirus, but for something a lot more embarrassing. And he had an Instagram post in a hospital bed, and he had his mask on. I mean, you can't tell if he's smiling or frowning through the mask, but you could see in his eyes. He's experiencing childbirth, that kind of pain, through his anus.
So was he bending down to dig up a flower, and then his butt just couldn't take it?
He checked and he goes, "Oh, the tomatoes are ripe! The tomatoes are ripe!" And he jumped in the air, and I don't know. I have a quote here from his Instagram, so let me clarify a bit. As well as getting overstretched and harassed by too many demands, I managed to rip my gluteus maximus to shreds in a moment of over-enthusiastic gardening. So I feel like he was like rolling in the grass with his the prunes that he grew or something. I don't know. Maybe he ate too many prunes.
He was simping. He was simping for his wife. His wife asked him to garden, and he said absolutely. And then when he was doing a good job, his wife walked up and smacked him in the butt.
All right, I'm not done with my quote. Let's see what more we can uncover from this. So suddenly, I find myself in a hospital getting scanned to find out exactly how much I've actually damaged myself. Turns out I did a thorough job. It's like he placed a chipmunk in there. This is a couple of days ago, and I won't be able to walk for a while. ... Or sleep. Oh, God. Without a lot of assistance, because the pain is relentless.
Oh,
he says he'll continue rocking. We will rocking. But he needs some healing rest. But as they say, the show must go on. And I'm sure he's rocking out with a guitar on his iPad, because that's probably the most he could do. I feel for the guy. As much as we laugh, it's terrible. As someone who feels pain in the front area, dude, I feel for you, and I'm not gonna laugh any more than I already did.
It sucks because he probably wears leggings all the time, and now he's not going to be able to wear them. They're too much of a strain on his behind.
No, he needs a legging as support.
So he can walk around like a 70-year-old man in leggings.
I've seen it. Ever been to Florida? Anywho, Scott, I don't want to be greedy with all the stories because I know you got one, so I want to hear it.
Yeah, I got a couple here.
Since I'm not listening to Queen anymore, I'm listening to you, okay?
I got a story from goat.com talking about how one of the stars in the show, Sex and the City, talked about how she wanted to have sex with Mario, the iconic Nintendo character. So let me explain this here.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't mind going down her pipe, right?
Oh, Brandon, you just made me extremely aroused. So, Sex and the City star Kim Cattrall is apparently, according to this article, ridiculously horny for Mario.
Ridiculously?
The unexpected Sex and the City Mario crossover ad. There was an ad released not too long ago to promote the Nintendo 3DS. and in this ad, Mario jolts up out of the pipe, and apparently he goes, fully losing my mind over this Nintendo ad. I'm sorry, hold on. I'm still reading this article. So I'm going to play the video real quick and tell you what's going on in the video.
All right, good luck.
Oh my God. Hold on, I have to pull it up on Twitter. It's only 24 seconds.
Discovered a new way of enjoying my spare time. Run, Mario, run! I go on magical adventures with a certain...
You hear this?
And guess what? He's totally into dressing up. That Tanuki suit is my particular favorite. There are many...
Oh, she's a furry too?
For a few minutes, a few hours, I'll always find time for Mario.
Okay, you heard it there first.
If you're with Mario, role playing must be so easy.
Because he has so many outfits. I mean, you could literally every day you could choose a different suit. His plumber suit. You could do his the one where he's from Mario Maker when he's wearing the brick suit.
I thought Mario wasn't into women. I thought he was into his brother because he's in Super Smash Bros. He didn't leave the series.
Break the news to the star from Sex and the City. He's not interested in her. He's only interested in Luigi.
Ever since Mario went to New Donk City in Mario Odyssey, she felt like she had a chance. No, from Odyssey, it was the first game where you got to see Mario's nipples, and she probably played that, and that may have been too much for her.
You did something with the 3DS itself, and then it probably short-circuited after she did what she did. She just couldn't take it anymore.
She probably took one of the Joy-Cons, put it in some weird vibrating mode, and she gotta level up.
She gotta level up is right. Look, she's just like the rest of us and clamoring for Mario Galaxy to come to the Switch. That's all it is.
This is just promotion for that. Okay.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's go away from the world of adult stuff and go talk about little children, but not in a sexual way, Scott.
What?
I don't condone that.
What? I'm gonna get Chris Hansen.
So, the story is about a 5-year-old boy who steals his parents' car and goes on a little joyride. So our story takes place in Weber County in Utah, and troopers were startled to see a car swerving down the interstate. If you're playing Mario Kart, or if you're someone from Sex and the City playing Mario Kart, this is a normal occurrence, swerving down the interstate. But for Utah cops, not so much. So initially, they thought it was an impaired driver. They're going left and right, zigzag, zoom. The troopers pulled the driver over, and the impaired driver wasn't impaired by drugs or alcohol, but simply by age, because this driver was the age of a kindergartner. The most driving experience I can assume a 5-year-old would have is playing Garfield Kart on the Nintendo 3DS.
And that's not nearly enough driving experience to drive what he was driving.
No, he's thinking, oh, if a cat could drive, maybe so can I. I'm wondering how they even pulled the kid over. Did the kid know how to park? Did he just crash it into a fire hydrant? Because Garfield did it, and he's like, all right, this is me parking. I don't know. So the child told the police that he took his dad's car after getting into an argument with his parents.
What does a 5-year-old have to argue about?
He's fighting for Mario, because this lady from Sex and the City wants to be with his man. No, he's arguing and complaining that they refuse to buy him a Lamborghini.
Well, I mean, he's not going to get a Lamborghini ever, let alone when he's 5 years old.
Listen, kid, your parents just spent $200 getting you the new Nintendo 2DS XL, the final edition of the 3DS, and a copy of Garfield Kart, and you have the nerve, the audacity to want something better? There's nothing better than that. Spoilers, kid.
There's nothing better.
His ultimate goal while driving was to go to California and purchase a luxurious sports car with all the money in his pocket. That being $3.
Probably even less. Probably just a few coins he found on the floor.
Hey, that's 300 pennies, Scott. In a kid's mind, dude, that is super rich. I remember going to a dollar, like a flea market, and there was a dollar area, and I got like a wallet for using 99 pennies, and the guy just laughed. He goes, oh, that's a lot of pennies. And I said, yeah, but it's $1. Now cough up the wallet. So there's an image of this on Twitter, and it shows the troopers confronting the young rebel by his car. I mean, his dad's car. It's hard to tell these days. The kid had a mask on, which to me looked very similar to an Easter basket glued to his face. So while breaking the law, Twitter users have admired the stones on that kid, with people nearly 5 times his age saying that they wish they would grow up like him. Let's hope that this story will discourage Pixar so they'll drop any plans they have for yet another Cars sequel or spin-off.
Yeah, I hope we never get one of those. You mind if I move into my final story very quickly?
Please do.
So, I got an article from AP News, and it talks about how human urine could help make concrete on the moon. You heard me say that correctly. Human urine will help to produce concrete for the moon.
Wait, Scott, but if you can't breathe and you're dead, how can you urinate on the moon in space?
Well, let's find out in this article if they figure out a way around that. So the European Space Agency said Friday that human urine could one day become a useful ingredient in making concrete to build onto the moon. The agency said researchers in a recent study it sponsored found that urea, which is the main organic compound in urine, would make the mixture for a lunar concrete. It noted using only materials available on the site for a moon base or other construction would reduce the need to launch supplies from Earth. So they wanted to essentially build on the moon, so this way they don't have to go back and forth to and fro Earth to get stuff. The main ingredient in this lunar concrete would be a powdery soil found on the moon's surface, and they could mix that with urine, and that would create concrete.
That's ingenious, but I think we're going too far ahead. We're reaching over the stars, quite literally. Let's take this home and fix Brian May's tush.
Oh, please.
I would kill for another Queen live stream where Adam Lambert points to me and says, "You are the champion," to inspire me. But I need Brian May's guitar, and with his gluteus maximus on fire, it's going to be a little hard. So get that. You pee on his tush, everyone. If you love Queen,
Pee on his tush.
you're gonna bring out your wieners or your no squares, and you're gonna point them at the screen, and you're gonna pee on Brian May's tushy, and he's gonna be better, and you're gonna fix him.
I would hate to be Brian May because he's not going to have a pegging session for a very long time now.
More like Brian Mayday. But we hope you don't experience as much pain as Brian May does. We hope that you can experience love like the Sex and the City lady playing her Nintendo Switch and loving Mario. We hope that you can one day achieve great things like peeing on the moon and making concrete. And we hope that you'll listen to more Weezer, because it seems that they're not sucking right now. Knock on wood, you never know with them. Anyway, Scott, thank you so much for being on this little podcast here yet again.
A big thank you to everybody listening and watching. I hope you're all staying safe, and I hope you found these stories a good distraction from the horrid world we're living in right now.
We can only hope for that. If you want to hear more from us, I hope you do. We're on TuneIn, Spotify, Anchor, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Also, we have a Facebook, a Twitter, and an Instagram. Heck, we even have a website, nonsensenewsnation.com. And if you want to contact us personally and talk about your theory on how you could save Brian May's tushy, because I want to know, you can contact us at nonsensenewsradio@gmail.com. That is nonsensenewsradio@gmail.com. Once again, my name is Brandon Ellis.
I am Scott Honigman.
And this was Totally Nonsense on Nonsense News Nation. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Goodbye.